I'm Matthew J. Evans, I'm 14 years old, and I'm an actor and filmmaker.
If you're a fan of Drake and Josh and Zoe 101, then this young icon might just look a little familiar to you.
I was about 9 when I started filmmaking, and I've been acting since I was like 4. My mom had a community theater in San Luis Obispo where I live, and so I've been doing shows there. And then when I was 9, a woman came up from Los Angeles and did a workshop on LA acting, and that's how I met my first agent. And filmmaking, it just seemed like something that'd be really fun to do, you know, like along with the acting. Film isn't just something that's fun for me. I want to teach people, I want to inspire people, tell people that, you know, if that person did it, they can do it too.
Matthew's starting to work on his 4th film, a more personal one, about a dear friend of his.
This film is called The Woody Duffy Story. And it's about Woody Duffy's life and his mom, Beth, and the struggles that they went through. He was diagnosed with a rare disease called MPS I when he was 6 years old. And at that time when he was diagnosed, there wasn't a treatment, there wasn't a cure. And they basically said, there's not much we can do. You know, your son's probably going to die by the time he's 12.
MPS I is a disease in which the cells do not degrade the MPS that they make. So this material accumulates and it damages tissues and organs and gives rise to the many problems of the patient.
My name is Woody Duffy, and Matthew's my best friend, and he's also the one working on the video with me. MPS stands for mucopolysaccharidosis. A person has that when they're born and they don't have the specific enzyme, and this enzyme is really, really beneficial. It helps with the storing of the mucopolysaccharides, and it affects major organs and your hands and your feet and your lungs, so it's really, really important. Dr. Neufeld was the woman who isolated the gene a couple decades ago, and before my mom found out about Dr. Neufeld, all the other doctors she called had absolutely no idea what mucopolysaccharidosis was, because it was so rare that in the medical books back then, there was only a tiny paragraph about it. We got the idea to make the film when Matthew started getting into filmmaking, and we really wanted to show kids that when you see somebody who's a little bit different, to give them more respect, because they have a harder time doing the simplest things that most people do and take for granted. To have a friend that really just sees me and doesn't see my disability, it's the best thing in the world. It makes me feel just so great to have him in my life.
Matthew's purpose for making this film is to educate the public about MPS and to inspire people that can also relate to Woody's circumstance.
Woody, he's a great guy. We're best friends, and it was like the moment that we met, it was like, yeah, you know, he's cool. The fact that he's gone through so many struggles, so much pain, and the fact that he's still able to keep a positive attitude and teach people, I think it's amazing. I want this movie to teach people pretty much what Woody's taught me, even though the obstacles might seem so high that you'd have to work so hard, and it might not even work out at the end. The chances of it working are so small that there's always a chance that you could succeed, and that you should always have hope that the right thing's gonna happen.
I think it's been wonderful to have somebody as talented as Matthew. I didn't realize until I talked to him how young he was. He's really talented.
He's using his creative outlet to spread the word and get people to donate for even more research.
I'd like to raise awareness about MPS I, because not many people have it, not many people know about it. It's really a rare disease, and it's amazing the process that the doctors went through and that the kids themselves went through in the original trial. And it's just an amazing story, and I think a lot of people would like to hear it and should hear it.
This budding filmmaker is mapping out his path in the industry, and it doesn't look like he'll be giving up acting or directing anytime soon.
I'd like to go to USC Film School because it's an amazing program. It's a beautiful college, and you know, Steven Spielberg went there, so he's also one of my idols. I'd like to have a career that's something like Clint Eastwood's, like an actor, director, or Robert Redford, but I love Morgan Freeman and Woody Allen, Matt Damon. They're some of my favorite actors and directors.
Matthew's a young icon to me because he works so hard, and at such a young age, it's just amazing that he's so driven to impact the world in such a positive way, to tell people's stories, show people that we're really not different at all.
I would hope that kids would look up to me because I really work hard and I'm really passionate for my career and my interests. And I think that that's something that kids would hopefully admire.
You're watching The Young Icons.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.